Hello, hello. Here they come. Here they come. Woohoo! Good morning. Hello, Anita. Hello, Heather. Good morning. Not
Hello.
have your background. I sent it to you. Everyone's coming in. Hello, Jocelyn. Jocelyn, let me give you a background. How are you, ladies? Ooh, let's see. I sent the backgrounds, I thought, but now I'm looking and I think I missed you this morning, Jocelyn. Don't know
Okay.
how.
Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not. I had
Ah,
to run my daughter to retakes for grad photos.
oh, woo.
Yes.
Is she a
Yeah.
senior this year?
No, well, grade six here, they do the photos because she goes from 7 to 12 at the next school. So, and my oldest, it was COVID, so they didn't get any. Like she
Oh,
got year she graduated. So even at the school, they don't even have the year photo in their cabinet. It's just the only year that's not there.
wow.
So I wanted to make a point. And when she got them done at the school, she looked like a drowned rat. Like they put the biggest gown on her. So like you didn't even, I was like, what is this? You're a peanut. I was like, oh God.
So, I was looking forward to my grandchildren graduating their entire lives, as they grew older. And then my oldest one decided last year, no more school. I have no idea what the real reason was because it hasn't came out, but I know there's a real reason. He quit football, he quit basketball, and then he started wanting to quit school right after. And like, okay, something went on that he's not going to tell us about until it's time. But it was such a big mess. He would literally go out to he would go to school and then he would go out to his car and sit for certain classes. So there must have been some rat head somewhere doing something. And he's a manly boy, manly man, tough. And then let me get to tell you, right after that, he goes to the gym every day now. Every day since then, he goes to the gym. Now he's buffed, big old boy, buffed. I mean, muscle galore. Just looking at his arms almost knocked me out. I swear to you. So I told my daughter, his mom, I said, we're going to figure this out later on in life, but he's not going to tell us right now. And it was just better letting him go. He went and got his GED and now he's working. He's got his own car and we're trying to figure out flight school. So he's still got that ambition to do what he wants to do. Just dang, flight school is so expensive. And it just keeps going up. So we'll see how that goes. But Jocelyn, I put that in there. So, to finish my story. So I still get to go to a graduation this year because this would have been the year he graduated, just not for him. The baby's graduation is for preschool is this next Friday. So I still get to go to a graduation this year.
That's nice. That's awesome. And if he wants that enough, like it's gonna align. Things are gonna align for him, right? And it just being there, he'll eventually just when he's ready, he'll say something, right? And that's
Yeah,
just
I'm
being
just
there. Just being there is the best thing you can do, right?
exactly when he started in, and I mean, he was like big time basketball, big time football player, not just showing up and playing. I mean, big time, like gonna go to college to do it, the whole 9 yards, and maybe had a great, but they got a new football coach, and then they got some new people that came with the football coach from other schools that moved in just because that's the most ridiculous thing I've heard of in my life. Just these parents getting up and moving just because the football coach moves. I don't get it. But whatever it is, you know what? It obviously he worked through it. He's a better person for it right now, anyway. So we'll see. But the 5-year-old is going to graduate preschool next Friday. So we'll still get to go to the graduation. So, um, All right, so let's go ahead and go around the room and make sure that all your contact information is in the chat. Make sure your appointment link is there. I love our backgrounds. I want to pat myself on the back. When I seen that, I thought, oh, this will be great for, because it looks relaxing to me and what we're talking about today, and it will be great. So let's pretend we're sitting outside on, that is an apartment deck patio in downtown Dallas. So that view almost wants me to sell my house and move downtown Dallas just to have that view. But I know that there's other things that come with that view, lots of noise and, you know, pollution that I don't have in the country. So, and then we'll go around the room and introduce ourselves. And let's introduce ourselves by not going over 30 seconds. Let's really determine what 30 seconds really feels like, so that later on when we do 1 minute, we really know that we have a long time to speak if we've been used to just 30 seconds. Nadia, I love your hair the way it's curled in the front like that. It really looks stylish, very unique, but style. I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
All right, let's start with Heather. Give us your 30-second elevator pitch. Then we'll go to Anita.
How did I know again you were going to pick me? I love it. I am Heather Helverson from Just Different with Heather. I am your lifestyle strategist expert. I help struggling entrepreneurs with their skills, systems, and strategies down to achieve their short and long-term goals and make more money to free up time and impact. Together, let's change the world at Just Different with Heather.
Woo! Heather has been practicing. I love it. And I love how you've changed up the words. I love it. I love it. All right, Anita, and then let's go to Jocelyn.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anita Vorreyer. I'm the healing strategist. I help people who have received a life-changing diagnosis to move through the shock and overwhelm and into healing and a life of peace and purpose.
Awesome. Thank you, Anita. All right, Jocelyn, and then let's go to Nadia.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm Jocelyn Bilodeau, your integrated mind-body mentor. I understand the struggles women face with anxiety and people-pleasing tendencies. Picture this, a life where you break free from these limitations, living without constant worry. My solution empowers you to regain control over your thoughts and emotions, and I guide you to develop a resilience, allowing you to confidently navigate life challenges. Together, let's transform your life so you can thrive with newfound freedom and confidence. Say goodbye to anxiety and hello to a life of empowerment. I'm here to guide you every step of the way. I'm Jocelyn, your integrated mind-body mentor.
Awesome, Jocelyn. Awesome. Nadia, then let's go to Jen.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nadia, and I am your stress relief of event. So if you want to know how I can get the stress out of your event, you can make make an appointment. My information is in the chat, and I can show you what you need to do and give you some tips and tricks.
Awesome. I love how you said stress-free events. Much, much better, Nadia. I love that. Jen.
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Falloon, owner of Borsa Investments, and we give busy professionals the opportunity to own real estate without being the landlords. We rescue them from the volatile stock market and put them on a smooth racetrack to consistent passive income, significant tax breaks, and strong back-end payouts. So if your money is not working as hard as you do, then give us a call.
Awesome, Jen. Awesome. Woo-hoo. And Dar is on her way into the room. I am LaDonna McAbee. I am here to help you really be able to communicate with others about how you can help them and how you can really dig in and make those connections. Let's chat. All right, Dar, welcome. Welcome, Dar. Are you there? All right, maybe she's in the midst of being here. So what we are going to go ahead and do is turn over the next 25-ish minutes over to Dr. Anita, and she is going to talk to us about things that we really need to learn about. Go ahead, Anita.
All right. Didn't want to say procrastination, did you, LaDonna?
No.
Well, let me talk to you for a few minutes about procrastination. Good morning, everyone. I'm really delighted to be able to do this. I would like to begin, though, by asking you a question. Have you ever put off or delayed a task until the last minute possible? Maybe you've missed a deadline by putting something off until the last minute. Well, we all have, haven't we? It's a definition of procrastination, and it is costly. But let me ask you another question. Have you ever wondered why you procrastinate? I mean, the real reason why. And yes, it might be something you need to do that you don't enjoy or it makes you uncomfortable. Or maybe it's because you feel overwhelmed or confused about the task, so you put it off, even though you know better, even when you're doing your mindset work, and even though it's costly. So why do we do that? Now, let me be clear. I'm not talking about a timing issue, right? Having to prioritize something else that absolutely can't wait. Or maybe it's a matter of timing and we're waiting till the time is right. Sometimes we need to wait. But I think you know the difference. So why do we procrastinate? Well, unfortunately, it's not a simple answer, but it can be summed up into one word, and that's fear. Usually subconscious fear, one that you might not feel at the surface at all, a fear that you may be unaware of. Think of an iceberg. Only 20% of it is above the surface of the water, and 80% of it is below the surface. Well, your conscious mind is like the 20% above the water, and your subconscious mind is like the 80% below. So when you're procrastinating, there's been a trigger that has set off a deep and uncomfortable fear, or maybe it's anxiety or grief. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the mind-body connection, right? It's actually a powerful thing. So when we think about something closely, like really focus on it, we can have a physical reaction. For example, I want you to think about a lemon. Just think about that nice, round, vibrant yellow, juicy lemon. See yourself picking it up, looking at it. Think about now cutting that lemon in half and smelling the scent of that juice. It smells so fresh and so good. Now, in your mind's eye, see yourself picking up half of the lemon, appreciating it, how fresh and yellow it looks, how good it smells. And now see yourself putting the lemon to your mouth and taking a small bite. What happened? Anybody's mouth start to water? So, example of the mind body. You get the connection. And what it means is, as you're thinking a thought and really tuning into it, it actually turns on a physical reaction. So when we think about doing something that we need to do that pushes us out of our comfort zone, we end up feeling it in our body. Whatever your resistance to it is, it triggers the stress response. The stress response is also sometimes called the fight or flight response in your body. It's the activation of your sympathetic nervous system. And when that happens, we can't think as clearly, we can't be as resourceful, we can't problem solve as well, we tend to fall into inaction. It is a biochemical response. And it might not feel like fear. It could show up as nervousness or anxiety and worry, or maybe even brain fog and forgetfulness. And then we make it worse, don't we? Because when you think about when you're procrastinating, do you beat yourself up and worry about it and just make the anxiety and nervousness worse? We tend to do that. But here's the good news. There is something we can do about it. We can actually turn off the fight or flight response, flip that switch into what we call the rest and digest response. We do this through EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, also called more commonly tapping. It activates as if a switch to turn off that fight or flight response, to turn down our sympathetic nervous system and activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calm that you need to rest and heal and think more clearly and take more action. Now, tapping is clinically proven. There is a ton of research on it. It works by gently tapping on the energy meridians in our body. So think acupressure points. Those are the follow along the meridians, and we'll tap on some of those spots. And again, when our system calms down, we can focus again, be more resourceful, be better at problem solving, take more actions. So I want you to experience how powerful that this is. So I'd like to take us through that today and invite you on a journey. Tapping can help us turn that stressor response off, regardless of what stressors we're experiencing. You know, some stressors are external, like a major life event or somebody in your family being ill. It triggers its external, but a lot of it, especially for procrastination, is internal. It's some fear that we have. Maybe it's our negative self-talk, like, oh, I'm such an idiot for not having done this before. It can be perfectionism. Those are all stressors. So I invite you on this journey. Let me tell you that tapping is easy, and I will show you how. There is no wrong way to do it. And you're not going to do anybody any harm if you do it wrong. People worry about that. Nope, you're fine. You'll be good. You'll use 2 fingers and gently tap on the points I'm about to show you. Now, let me say there are a lot of meridian points on your body, but we're just going to do the ones that are easy and visible on camera. Any of them will work. So take 2 fingers, and the first point is right here at the eyebrows. You see where your eyebrows come down? That's the eyebrow point. And the next point is at the corner of your eye. So that's side of the eye. And then we'll tap under the eye, and then under your nose, and then under your lip, right in that divot where your chin and lip are, right there. And then the collarbone point, if you find where your collarbone, sort of that U shape right there, and go about an inch down and an inch over, it's sort of right below your collarbone. That's the collarbone point. And then the last point that I'll show you is right on the top of your head, right on the crown of your head. So as you can see, those points are easily visible to lead you through this. And I'm going to say some phrases, say some things, and ask you to repeat it as we're tapping. So don't worry about if you're saying it right or whatever. If you get overwhelmed trying to tap and repeat, that's fine. Just keep tapping. You're fine. Tapping works without words because you're stimulating your nervous system in a way that calms you down. But one way to get these subconscious fears up into our consciousness, to move them up and out, is with phrases while we're doing it. So that's why I'll use that. But again, if you're really stressed out, I did this during the phone call yesterday. I just kept tapping my collarbone. If any of you ever deal with Medicare in the United States, good luck. So I was on a call for like an hour, right? So I was doing this the whole time so that I would not get really, really upset in my anger. I'll do it during driving if it's really bad too. So it's a very effective point. So I'm going to, again, you can't screw it up. If you, I'm going to ask you some questions as we go to, like, how are you feeling? How did that make you feel? Feel free to answer on the chat. Also feel free not to answer at all. Like, what happens in Millionaire Marketplace stays in Millionaire Marketplace, but you also don't have to reveal. So, but if you want to answer in the chat when I ask you that, or just think about it. So, any questions before we begin? Well, I want you to think about something you've been putting off, something that's important, that if you took action, it would move the needle for you. And maybe I haven't been procrastinating yet, but like, you need, it's on the to-do list for later this week or next week, right? You have something in your mind about that, what that is for you. Okay, just tune into that for a minute. Okay. So as you're thinking about the action most important for you to take, we're going to start tapping. You've got that number one thing in your mind that if you got it done, it would move you forward the fastest, right? Okay. So when we find ourselves doing that, we're refusing. There's some part of us refusing. And again, that's the fear, right? So how does it, the first question I'm going to ask you is, as you're tuning into it, get in touch in your body. How does that feel in your body? If I said on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you're not really that upset by it, and 10 being, oh my God, I needed to have done that last week, not next week. Right? You have a number? Okay. All right. So that's going to be how we measure bringing it back down. Is anybody up to like a 8, 9, or 10? Most of us can get there pretty quick. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is think about the steps that you can take in getting it done. So, for example, I need to make a video for my social media sites. And in making that video, there's steps you would have to do, like script it out or get your background ready, schedule a time to do it. So think about that in terms of the thing you need to do and break it into smaller steps. And get out your calendars and put it on your calendar. Actually calendar it. If you have your calendar with you, do that. Map out each step. People at least have something in mind if you're not actually writing it out. Okay, so imagine that I'm your coach and I'm going to come show up at your house on that day and make sure you do it. How does that make you feel? An accountability partner showing up to make sure you do what you said on that date you said it. Anybody triggered by that? Okay, so let's start tapping a little bit. That feels horrible. I actually feel nauseous. Under eye. I feel scared. I'm so nervous. I feel sick, actually. It really freaks me out thinking that somebody's going to come watch me do it. I feel really bad about this. Ugh. I just feel overwhelmed. I'm so nervous about it. Oh, I don't like this at all. I feel really sick. Just take a deep breath as you tap on the collarbone point. Now, what I want you to do, hopefully that makes you feel a little better. What I want you to do is actually picture yourself in your mind's eye doing what it is that you have thought about. Like really think about doing it, not, visualize yourself taking the action and not 80 tiny bitty steps, but actually doing it. Like if it's the video I talked about, like actually doing the video. Or maybe it's presenting, public speaking. Maybe it's a sales conversation. Maybe it's networking in a group not like ours that's so friendly. What is it? How do you look? How do you feel? Did that trigger anybody? How are y'all feeling? As you see yourself doing it, it still feel as scary for people or brought it down just a little bit? Okay, let's do a little bit more, okay? Anybody feel like as if, like, what if people don't like me? What if I don't do it right? I might feel like a fraud. What if people think I'm a fraud? Do we feel that sometimes when we're doing things? No, yeah, we can feel that way. That's real common, especially for solopreneurs. What if I fail? There is so much at risk for me. It means a lot, doesn't it? When you feel like it means everything, a lot on the line. So let's tap some of that down now. Okay, so take a deep breath. There's so much on the line. And deep down, I'm really scared about it. What if I don't do it well? What if actually I fail? What if I look ridiculous to people? What if things don't go right? I'm really worried about this. I'm feeling so overwhelmed. What is wrong with me? This can't be that hard. But there's a lot at stake for me in doing this. And I've been avoiding taking the action, avoiding getting hurt, avoiding looking silly. I've actually been afraid. Not wanting to do something because I'm afraid. Perhaps I can release this. Perhaps I can be more compassionate with myself. Perhaps I can stop beating up on myself about procrastinating. I'm willing to let this go. Willing to let this go. Now take a deep breath again. How are you feeling now? On that scale, remember you did the scale from 1 to 10. Where's your number now? Is it lower than it was when we started? That's just a few minutes of actually tapping to get that stress down. When we're in the minute, we're not having to like, let me think about that. We're feeling it, right? In some way, nervous or anxious, you may not feel it as fear. But what our bodies do in fight or flight, all the oxygen is going to your muscles and not your prefrontal cortex where you think. It's like when the tiger's after you, you better run. So that's where your energy is going. When we calm that down, we can then think, which we do with our prefrontal cortex, and then feel better about it and actually get into action with it. So you can continue to do tapping in terms of whenever. Again, you don't even have to say anything. If you're worried you won't know what to say, just be tapping like a fool. And it will help lower it down. There are other things you can tap good things in. So after you do a couple of rounds of, I'm upset, start with, I'm willing to release it. I can now see myself doing it. And you're like tapping in the good. You know what I mean by that? So you can do that to make yourself feel a little less anxious and a little more ready to do whatever it is you've been avoiding doing. It's really a deep internal fear that you may not feel as fear. And for that to come up and out, then we use the tapping. So I hope that gave you a little taste of what tapping is about. It's a very, very useful tool. As I said, I can even use it when I do it when I'm getting really angry, like on that phone call, because you need to be professional. You need to pull it down. But also when you're very scared, like if a family member or friend is on the way to the hospital, I experienced this too, and you're really worried, especially some of us have adult children. I'm sorry, children are a life sentence, and you still are dealing with what they're dealing with, right? And you can get really nervous. Or grandchildren, like LaDonna was explaining about something's going on with her grandson. Tapping would be great for him when he's ready to deal with it, because that was a deep trauma with what he did. You know that already. When he's ready, he will. But to deal with that fear, then you can do some tapping. So I think it's a very powerful tool. I use it with clients. I use it personally. Again, it's well researched. There's a good bit of research on how effective it is. The most effective treatment for PTSD. Of course, therapists do that. I would not suggest doing that for somebody who's really suffering PTSD unless you are a therapist, but they will use it on that. And the studies are incredible. So give yourself some compassion, even a hug, the next time you're procrastinating and aren't sure why or wondering what's wrong with you or getting mad at yourself. Make it worse. Stop, tap, calm yourself down, and then take the action you need to take. Nadia, did you have a question for me?
Okay. When you practice all the things that is on a face and you can see, but when you are actually on a stage and you get one of those frights where you need to tap that it doesn't show the audience that what you do.
Yeah, usually after your collarbone, you would go to under your arm. So go about where your bra strap goes across there, about 4 inches down from your armpit. So wait a minute, let me see if I can angle this a little bit. Right there. And then after that, under your breast, on your chest. And then I would do my wrists together like that. And then up to the head. But it's kind of hard to show this. But that's the tapping I do. There are other points or points on your fingers. If any of you have meetings, Jen, you might have meetings in more of a with client corporate kind of settings, right? If you're doing that right here on the outside of your nail, I don't know how well y'all could see, right there. That's a point. You can hold it under a table and just be tapping away. I've done it before I retired. Boy, I did it every time I had to meet with my boss. It was an idiot. Anyways, so you can tap on your finger points at a very discreet way to do that. Or when you're holding the steering wheel, you can do that. If you're getting stressed from driving or you're late or something. But typically when people are tapping, it's going to be the face points under the arms, under the chest, on the wrist, and then the head.
So Nadia, you could do the finger points when you're on stage, I would think.
Yeah, you could, again, it's, if you're looking at your hand, it's that outside point on by your nail.
Mm-hmm.
And I use my thumb to do it. You could do it that way. That feels awkward, but you could do that.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. That's the one I did under the conference table.
I know that when my go-to is here. This is the one that seems to calm me the most.
Collarbone, yeah.
And I don't know why that is, but if I go to the doctor or like right before I came on here, I was yelling at my supplier for my face mask for my sleep apnea machine, wanting to charge me $160 for one mask. I'm like, not doing it. Nope. And that's just what I was doing when I was telling him, nope, not doing it. No.
Right. One of the reasons I think this is my go-to, if like I was on the phone, because this is your governing meridian. It goes like throughout your body. So this is a real powerful one. So even if you just did that, of course, that's more visible when you're on stage. And then you can go to an alternate points. But you'll see, even stopped at a stoplight, you can see people tapping, or on a plane. Somebody I knew said, "Oh, I saw a lady doing your thing on the plane." Well, yeah, maybe. So it's a very, very useful tool. It is very well researched as being effective. It will drop when you get upset, your adrenaline and your epinephrine start running. Those are chemicals in your body. It's well documented. Within 10 minutes of tapping, you have brought all that down and chemically measured things. So it works. And it's really good, I think, when you're unsure of what it is that's really going on. Again, it helps tap into your subconscious as you're doing that. And you can have thoughts like, that's why I'm doing it. You can also have very inspirational thoughts like, that'll solve it or whatever. So whatever comes up for you can be very, very helpful, as well as calming down your system so that you can be more resourceful and think better. And I wanted to share that as a tool. That's
I would have never thought to use it for procrastination. So when you had said that, when you and I had chatted about it, I'm like, wow. So Anita, my first question for you is why do some work better than like this one here almost hurts my head, even though I'm barely touching the top of my head. I just don't like that one.
Okay.
But I love this one. So is there different points for different views
They're
to your brain? And I mean, because like this one,
No, I think for some people, a lot of times the under the arm point can be really sore.
okay.
You can find a real, sometimes when you do this, if you rub instead of tap, you'll find a really sore spot. Maybe your sore spot is up here. If it is painful to you, I would say bypass it. But the soreness is an indication that there's something there. So you have to do it at your comfort level. The meridians, and again, if you think like acupuncture, acupressure, or is anyone familiar with Donna Eden energy medicine? She's mapped out what some of the meridians are, and they lead to certain organs, right? The energy in those meridians go to certain organs or organ systems in your body. And so the thinking is that you might store anger in your liver, so you tap on the liver point if it's an angry thing. The points I showed you are going to get throughout your whole body. This is one that just goes throughout your whole body because you're looking at major blood vessels and that goes through. This is another one. So maybe whatever this is connected to, and that I would have to look, maybe that's just sore right now. Or if it hurts, avoid that spot. Again, you can't make things worse by doing it, right? You're not like, oh my God, if I don't do it right, I'm gonna hurt myself or something. No.
Yeah, because I
You're
really
not.
like this one. I like this one. I don't understand that one. I don't understand that one, but it doesn't hurt. But I love this one. This one just really seems to really get me over whatever the anxiety. When I get really, my anxiety level gets high, I use this one and it usually will calm me. I don't know why, but it works. So I go with it.
Yeah. And ultimately, and when I ask you, like, we had this conversation. Yes, I help people deal with the overwhelm of a life-changing diagnosis and into healing. But my previous life, I did leadership. I taught leadership to undergraduate and graduate students. So in our conversation, I thought, probably a leadership thing that y'all could use more. But what about procrastination? Because we all do it. And that can really be costly in your business. And so like how to, well, use tapping. You can also, some people, for example, have a trauma around a previous goal that wasn't reached, or maybe you had a previous business that didn't go well, or had a business partner that you ended up splitting with. We can have these traumas from our businesses in the past, and that can come back to haunt you and you not realize that's what's causing it. So there are a lot of things in business that you can do in terms of using tapping to get over goal trauma, to get past procrastination, to look at how you really feel about money way deep inside that you're not even aware of. Like in terms of, as business owners, we have to make the ask, right? We have to ask for the dance with. And so, yes, that may make you nervous, but there may be fear even deeper attached to that. So it can be very, very useful in terms of reaching your goals and achieving success in your business.
Perfect. I love this. I love this. I've seen this a couple of times and it seems like I learn something each and every time. And that's what I really like about it. Who has questions for Anita or comments? Jen.
Question. So when you're doing, the under the collar and under the bra, does it matter? Like, is it helpful if you didn't have clothes on, like if you were in the shower, you know, is there, is there an extra benefit to like doing it under your clothes and
Right.
being
I don't think there's an
skin-
extra benefit. I would just do it when it's best for you and how it's best for you. I will say, you tug on the bra afterwards because, because you're doing that. If you're more comfortable doing it without clothes or like in the shower, go for it. It's not a matter of being more or less effective or even leaving out one of the points. It's not necessarily going to impact how effective it is.
Perfect. That's a great question, Jen, because you know, sometimes you just would feel more comfortable, I think, when you're not in your clothes or in the shower. Because, when I get really upset, I run to the shower sometimes because get that heat going, off the shower head and the massage going. So yes, I would think that would be comfortable. Who else? Jocelyn, because I know that you do different kinds of things with, soothing and bringing people down. So any questions or comments for Anita?
I do tapping. I do follow other, people like on YouTube. So I do have a few videos that I've done. But I haven't the under, like I do under here, like under the arm, but I didn't know the down, the further points. And I've never tried the finger. So it was just nice to hear those other points too to try. Because I also follow Donna Eden, right? So
Yeah.
I was actually doing some of her, like I'll do the pull through, right? I do when you reach for heaven, like I do some of
Yeah, I
those
do her morning routine. Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. So I have that. So, I follow that and I just, incorporate a few things into my routine and I do feel a lot better. And I feel like I'm inclined to say more of the positives, right? I try to reframe a lot and really gain into that positive because that's how I feel in most of the times when I'm doing these because I want to attract that positivity. So that's my intentions when I do them. I know other people use them to release too. I use my Reiki to release. So I
Yeah.
don't that like because I combine them, right? I'm big on combining things. I don't know if you do that with all because I know you do Don Eden, so you must
Yeah, I
gravitate to
do.
a lot of different things, right?
Yeah, I combine some, and you bring up a really good point. I mentioned it briefly. After you tap some of the what I'll call angst out, you can then tap in the positive, like
Mhm.
repeat your affirmations and tap so that you're ending on that up. Part of voicing, like, oh my God, this is terrifying, is to get it up and out, not to deny feeling it,
Yeah.
but to acknowledge it, to voice it and let it go and then tap in the good things that which could be affirmations. It could just be I feel better now, I feel so much calmer now, or I've done affirmations after that with it. So you can what we refer to as tapping in the good after you've released it. Again, it's not tapping down to ignore those feelings because they're in your subconscious, and if they don't come up and get released, they will continue to wreak havoc.
Mhm.
And so letting it go and then ending with the positive statements, I think, is really helpful.
So do you have like a specific set of things or do you do it more intuitively? So when you're working with a client, say if they're coming to you, they want to, like I know for big one for entrepreneurs would be to attract more clients, right? So do you have like a set of things that you would routinely do or you are more leaning into intuitive when
Well,
you're in that session?
some of it's intuitive, but some of it's really listening to what the person is saying. And if they're saying they're really, see, when you're in a group and it's a little more difficult as if you're one-on-one and they're telling you, I get, you know, really upset doing this, or this makes me think of my mother when she used to get angry at me, or I mean, it can trip all sorts of things, and you may ask them, who does this remind you of? Or the last time I'm thinking, like gold trauma. You really struggled to get that, and it all fell apart. And there are pieces of it that are still grieving. You're still grieving way down in your subconscious. So that comes up, and then we'll tap on that, and that's a more individualized process. And so that's sort of the individual, but it's also, for me, intuitive, where we try to fool ourselves. Oh, I can do it. I'll just muscle my way through it. Well, that's not particularly helpful over time. And yeah, we can do that, but that's not good for us, right? It's not nourishing for us. And so it's sort of a combination, Jocelyn, if that makes sense.
Yep, totally makes sense. Thank you.
Tamara, do you have anything that you want to add on?
I really don't. What is the difference? Okay, yeah, I guess I do. What is the difference really between anchoring and tapping?
Between what and tapping?
Anchoring. Like when I was going through my coaching classes, we learned to anchor a feeling, and basically it's the same thing except for you do it when like you think of a good experience, and then you kind of, so I don't know.
Yeah, you can anchor, you can prime. It's another thing that you can do, right? Those are very helpful things, but sometimes we just get stuck. And it's hard to anchor in what you want when you've got something that you might not be aware of underneath that's like creating havoc, is the way I look at it, right? You're not quite sure why you're feeling that way. It doesn't make logical sense. And that's when I think tapping is really helpful. I think when you're anchoring in what you want and you're priming the good for it to keep yourself up, that's a lot of mindset work that's very helpful. But then there are just sometimes you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm whether it's affirmations or anchoring or whatever you're doing, right? And it's not working. I would suggest there's something underneath that needs to come up and out. And we all do.
I got it. I understood. I just wanted to see what the difference was, because like I said,
sure.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Heather, how about you?
Thank you so much, Anita. I've done tapping before for my MS, and actually it created havoc for me because I was not taught to bring in the positive. So I really love what you shared about the affirmations after.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Love it. We are learning. I love it. I love it. So, Abby.
I loved what I learned, and that was the finger tapping. I want to get a clarification on that. Where is it that we're actually tapping?
If on your fingers, it's right at the end of your finger at that nail point. Let's see if I can, I'm backwards here. So at the nail point.
Okay, yeah, got it.
And when you tap there, and on that finger, and on your little finger, you can tap those finger points. And to me, it's easier to tap that particular pointer finger point with my thumb.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier than doing this.
Right.
So,
yesterday when I was dealing with the big city driving, I could have used that.
Exactly. One day I was getting so upset with the traffic patterns, and you're holding the steering wheel, and I just thought, oh, I could do that. So that's my go-to if traffic is driving me bonkers.
Awesome. That's awesome. Dar, I know you've been on the road, but did you hear anything that you have questions about or want to comment?
Sorry, I heard all of it. I missed the beginning before she started speaking, but I got back in the car just in time and I didn't miss a word. So I've had a couple of different experiences with tapping, being called different things. such as Qigong. I don't know if I said that correctly or not. Forgive me if it was wrong. That's a sense of using tapping and touching the points and so on and so forth. And you have points all the way through your body, like right from head to toe, literally. And I heard that your thumbs are really good for dozens of points, according to Qigong. And then there's our friends Danny and Ka, who do they do a unique thing about, loving yourself and it's not my fault and stuff like that. It's very, very uniquely done for them. And somebody else we knew, I think it was Anne Louise, and Abby talked about being stressed about something, and she turns around and she goes, "Oh, just tap." And yeah, and we forgot all about it. So that just simply means it gives us one more tool under our belt to get me over my negative health issues.
Definitely. And I use it with clients for health issues, that because the more your body can stay in the parasympathetic response, the rest and digest, the calm, right? That's where your healing happens. So if you're having any kind of health issue and need to heal, you need to be in that calm state. But having said that, when the doctor comes and says, you have this issue, it's hard to stay calm.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a really scary kind of thing and what I call life-changing. It can be life-threatening, but it's life-changing. I mean, it alters what you're going to do. And then all that comes up for you. Unfortunately, I've been through this myself and going through this with people I care about over time. Heather can understands too. You just have to get over that overwhelming, oh my God, and then figure out what you do next and get your body into a place where it can heal. And I think our bodies are innately gifted with the ability to heal. Part of that is letting them stay in the calm space, using tools, whether it's Reiki or tapping, or I would go so far and be so bold to say, you need a plant-based whole food diet, because nutrition is absolutely key. Those are things that we can alter the course of the disease and tap into the healing of our bodies. So, blessings for anyone facing medical issues. That's tough. That's a really tough one. And it's probably right when you don't have the energy or don't feel good to figure out what you need to do.
And I have some pretty serious health issues happening, and we're striving like crazy to turn it around any way we can.
Well, I'd be happy to talk to you, Dar. I put my phone number in here, or you can just shoot me an email. I have a son struggling with MS, newly diagnosed. And it's hard. It's the problem that I see is that so many people, that illness is on the rise. Okay, particularly autoimmune diseases. Yeah, incredibly on the rise, and the majority of people affected are women. And it's the way the doctor, I think, would present it is that, well, here, take this pill and we can't do anything more. And I don't think that's true. That's my perspective. There's not a pill for every ill, and we can take our power back with our health. Not saying that doctors aren't helpful or that some medicine isn't good, right, but it's just that I could go off all day about it because I think we have this innate power to heal.
And when you said, take this one pill, it never stops with one pill.
Nope.
I started with
No.
one pill and
Yeah.
now I'm to dozens of pills.
Yep.
And I'm still fighting autoimmune. I'm still fighting pain. I'm still fighting getting up every morning and doing what I need to do and stay in my positive mind, you know? And yeah, it never stops. It never stops with just one little pill. And I wished it would. And I'm trying so hard to eat better, but man, I still like that ribeye steak every once in a
Oh,
while.
stop, 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 stop.
But I'm trying so hard to stay away
Stop, stop,
from
stop.
things like that, you know, but wow. But
Oh,
you know what? When I have a salad, I'm really happy with it too. For most
yeah,
part now, you know, I've gotten
exactly.
where I eat more and more green and
Good.
in trying to get there. But you know, because every time you look at what do I eat or what causes inflammation or what causes you to this, it's all over the place. You know,
Everywhere.
nowadays, and you stay away from the tomatoes and the reds and stay. You know, it's
It's a
so
lot of confusing information, and
Yes,
that's true. That's true for
confusion.
any diagnosis, and you're left to go find the information, and it's conflicting and confusing.
Yes.
And everybody's body
Very
is
confusing.
different. So how you, LaDonna, respond to something, if I have the same issue, I may not respond to it the same way. So it's you have to listen to your body, but this was about procrastination and
Yes.
getting us back on track to take action.
Yes. All right. So, with that said, thank you so much, Anita. Real quick, Dar.
Yeah, really quick. This morning I went to my physiotherapist appointment, and when the physiotherapist asked me what medication I'm on, I said that's moot point for me at this point because I'm, being told that nobody can do anything for me, but yet collectively, they all want to know what medication I'm on, and it's right there in black and white. And you're right, LaDonna. No, there's no such thing as one pill.
No, there isn't. I literally carry it in my phone, a picture of all my meds. I can't remember what the names are. They don't make them friendly names, milligrams, how often you take them. I'm like, I don't know anymore. I don't know. So, yes. So, let's go to our marketplace. That's what time we are in. And we are going to do a no longer than a 2-minute pitch. And we are going to go into the marketplace starting with, let's go ahead and start with Jen.
Hi, so am I doing my whole like
Yes,
pitch
2 minutes
like the whole
pitch
all right,
and
so
make an
I'm
offer.
Jennifer Falloon, owner of Borsa Investments. We give busy professionals the opportunity to own real estate without being landlords. We rescue them from the volatile stock market and put them on a smooth racetrack to consistent passive income, significant tax breaks, and large back-end payouts. And my offer is a free 30-minute phone call as to how you can come on board as a referral partner, which means you can actually have a piece of ownership in any real estate without having any money of your own in the deal, just by introducing money. So a free 30-minute phone call to bring you on board.
Awesome, awesome. 1 second. Tamara does not. Okay. So what would be your hashtag?
Hashtag referral.
Okay, hashtag referral. And she will talk to you about how to make money without being a landlord. I love it. I love it. And let's go to Anita.
Hi, I'm Anita, the healing strategist. And as I've said earlier, I help people who've been diagnosed with life-changing illnesses to move beyond the shock and overwhelm of that and into healing so they can lead a life of peace and purpose. I also have a background in working in leadership. And so what I would like to offer today for the people on this call is a 5-session package that deals with specifically entrepreneurial sticking spots that we were talking about, perfectionism, procrastination, all those kinds of things. In the past, I've done that for $6.97 for the package. I'm willing to do that for a reduced price of $3.97 for anybody who's in our group. So be glad to help you with that. So just email me. I put it in the chat. It's avorreyer@gmail.com's easiest way to do. Anything on my website is about the healing stuff.
Awesome. And what would your hashtag be, Anita?
Hashtag tap it out.
I love it. And what was the price again on that, please?
For the package of 5 sessions, it's $3.97 for this group.
Okay, all right. Please put that into the comments, into the
Sure.
chat, please. And let's go to Jocelyn.
All right. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, your integrated mind-body mentor. And with a background as a child and youth worker for over 25 years experience in the social service field, I've incorporated that now with the master NLP practitioner, timeline therapist, hypnotherapist, and also Karuna Reiki master. I offer a 12-week program to help women ditch anxiety and people-pleasing tendencies that's holding them back from creating that life that they truly desire, and empower them to start responding instead of reacting and taking control over their emotions and their thoughts. I'm going to offer today, I'm tossing between 2 of them. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. I have a newly released chakra alignment harmony within program. It's do it yourself. So it encompasses all the 7 main chakras, also embedded with healing clearing meditations, also a complimentary Karuna Reiki session. It's a regular price of $2.99. I'll offer everybody here at a 50% discount. So we can do hashtag healing for anybody interested, and I'll get them the details.
All right, awesome. Please put that information in the chat.
I will. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, let's go to Heather and then we'll go to Dar.
Hello, I'm Heather Hilverson with Just Different with Heather, as I help struggling entrepreneurs with their skills and systems and strategies. Book me in with a free 30-minute discovery call, and we can see where our paths lead.
Awesome. And what is that hashtag, Heather?
Discovery.
All right, hashtag discovery. Nice. All right, Dar, then we'll go to Nadia.
Okay. Hello, my name is Dara Bassi Cripps, your favorite multi-mix media collage artist. I'm Canadian born and Ontario raised in the land of maple syrup and apologies. I specialize in designing unique custom greeting cards that you will not find in any big box or dollar store. And if this sounds like something you're looking for, something that's different and fun in a greeting card, to make your loved ones feel all warm and fuzzy inside, just visit my website at darscreativecards.ca to learn more about my collection and how you can place your order today. Website again is darscreativecards.ca, and thank you for considering my original works of art. Hashtag original cards.
Awesome. And what is your offer today?
My offer today is if you purchase a 10 package order, that will give you your inserts for free.
Awesome. And what's the price on a 10 card order?
I have to check that on the website.
Find that. Just go ahead and put your hashtag and the price of that in there. That would be awesome, Dar.
You bet.
Thank you. All
Oh,
right.
thank you.
Anita.
I'm sorry, what's that? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Nadia. It was just such a long pause.
Okay.
You trying to find the right page, Nadia?
No, I was wondering if Dara is still
Oh,
on.
okay.
Oh, yeah, I was done.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Nadia. I was
my.
like, what?
Is that your fault or my fault, LaDonna? I think it was my fault.
Sorry. Well, my name is Nadia and I'm your event specialist. So, and also I can help you to have a stress-free events. Any kind of event that you name it, I can create it. I can work from beginning till end. I like to be at end of your at your event because I want to see a seamless, without the stress event for you. That's what it is. And you can, I have my calendar on there. You can make a appointment with me and I will give you strategies about how to begin your event that would be a stressful event for you if you want to do it yourself. And I can offer you times that I can actually give that time to you for strategizing and all that with half the price that I usually charge. I charge $133 an hour. I will make that half for everybody in this community that like to I give them strategize a event for them.
Awesome. And what would your hashtag be?
Event specialist.
All right. Hashtag event specialist. And if you'll go ahead and put that in the chat with your offer, that would be awesome, Nadia. All right. So are you asking the wrong question, which causes you to lose clients? For instance, if you were selling lipstick and you ask your client, what is your favorite color? And they say yellow. Now what do you do? Because no one looks pretty in yellow lipstick, right? So I coach entrepreneurs that struggle with confidence and communication skills on how to ask the right questions and gain more clients. So for you today, I am offering to strategize with you and show you just a tiny bit about asking the right questions. So I will put my information into the chat. Hashtag communication. So did you girls like, I know I'm a little rough, that's new for me. This is a new line for me. Did you like the yellow lipstick? Thought that would be fun. Yes. You know, it's time for me to change it up. And I did that on purpose. We continually have to change up what we say every once in a while. So it does, you don't become a stale loaf of bread. It's just as simple as that. So always remember that. Now I have to polish that a little bit better. I worked on that yesterday and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to change again. You know, it seems like it's always, right? Always changing, pivoting. All right, does anyone have additional offer that they want to give today? All right. So with that said, we're going to wrap up early today. Usually we have second offers, but it's fine if we don't. because that means that we are sold solid on our first offers. So that's awesome. Just a couple reminders, and I want to go around the room just in case anyone has anything that I missed. On Thursday, we have Dr. Joy is bringing in a special guest to talk about Facebook strategies, how to make money on Facebook. He is a Facebook specialist. So we will want to try to be here if you can be here. That is for our coffee time. So if you show up in your favorite coffee, not in your favorite, with your favorite coffee cup, in your favorite pajamas, that's okay. Just show up, okay? On Saturday, we have our May 4th event. Who has their tickets for the May 4th event? Okay, I know Jen does. She's one of the sponsors. I know Heather does. Anita, Jocelyn, Dar, please grab those tickets. You will
I'll be getting mine today.
Awesome. You will not want to miss the event because we have 8 incredible speakers speaking. If you have to come late, leave early, can't come at all, purchase your ticket. You will receive the recording to watch on your own time. Okay. I know for me, that doesn't work out too well because I'm like, I think the world's, I just never seem to have time to watch recordings. And I have to get better at that. I literally have to pinch myself and make me go watch a recording because I know I'm going to learn something if I do. So literally, if I miss something, I have to make myself. Maybe that's a procrastination, but I don't know. There's only so many hours in my day. So I literally have to get it on my calendar, go watch the recording I missed on Wednesday, you know, whatever it is. So I say that every event. I know, Dar.
You do.
I know. It's just, you know, I
And I agree, but
how important it is to do it. All right, everyone have a beautiful rest of your day. Did I miss anyone? Digital Desire Thursday night. What else, Dar?
my birthday party, June 13th.
Yes,
My
yes.
60th birthday party.
Yes, yes, yes. And we'll start getting more information out about that pretty soon.
Really soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
I got to get over my May 4th event, and then that's my next big event.
That's okay because I got 5 more cards to make for you.
Yes, there you go. All right, my loves, have a beautiful day. Go to social media, let everyone know what you've learned from Anita, what your favorite part was. Remind everyone about your, go to our group and put in your offer so that the people that wasn't here today can take advantage of that offer if you want to spread the love a little more. All right, thank you, everyone.
Oh, let me get the chat. Let me get the
yeah,
chat.
get the chat. Bye, everyone. Have a beautiful day.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you all.